Hi everyone, Alan from Newlands Nursery. Hope you are well. Welcome to today's 5-minute Friday, and today we are sowing chilli plants, or chilli seeds I should say, to make plants. So if you don't know, we've specialised in chillies for a very long time, and if you want to get the best from your chillies, sowing them early really does help. It makes a massive difference. So you get an early start. And it almost doesn't matter, as long as you can keep a really good condition for them, the conditions they want, then you can sow them pretty much all the time and just keep on growing them. But in the UK, obviously the weather doesn't always suit what we want to do. So pretty much the earliest we ever sow is around November or December. So if you're growing super hots, things like Maruga Red, Nagas and stuff like that, this is the time of year to sow them. So we've collected the seeds for this variety. This one is Thai Super Hot Demon, a really nice variety. So we collected the seed. If you collect your own seed, be very cautious. You're going to get chilli dust all over you, even when you come to sow the seeds. We've cleaned these seeds a little bit, so it's not too bad, but if you do it at home, you probably won't be able to clean them, and you can get chillies everywhere, so be cautious. So I like to just spread a few seeds onto this plate. Doesn't matter what plate you use, just because it's easier to deal with. Chilli seeds are relatively small, and we often get asked, does it matter which way round they go? It doesn't. They're sort of almost saucer shape, so them going flat on the compost is absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do is just going to place them on the compost. And often what you can do is just press down on the seed and it'll come onto your finger, just like that, if you're lucky. And then just place them in the centre of a cell tray. This cell tray I'm using is relatively large. I just find them easier to look after. Don't have to be this big, but just placing them on the surface is what you want to do. Just like that. I'll do a couple of rows. I'm doing this cell tray all the same variety, partly because I like this variety, and these will go on to go in some of my dishes, which is often what happens with the 5-minute Friday stuff we do. So I'm just going to place that on like that. With some seeds you push them down. I don't tend to with chillies, because what you want to do is cover it in compost about the same size as the chilli. And like I said, it's a saucer shape. It's very small. You haven't got a hope of pushing it down the right amount. So just covering it with a layer of compost is the way to do it. So if your compost is lumpy, take any lumps out, any big lumps at least, and then just gently cover, only looking for a light layer of compost just over the top, so you just can't see the seeds, just like that. Okay, if you're growing more than one variety in a cell tray, make sure you label it so you know what you've sown, but that's as easy as that. Then all that's left to do is water it. Once it's watered, what we want to do is move this to a warm spot. So this will go into our germination greenhouse. Now that greenhouse is set up for chillies. It is set up to be anything between 25 and 28 degrees Celsius, so it's quite warm. But that is surprisingly easy to do at home. So that could be an airing cupboard. I don't need light to germinate. Could be an airing cupboard, could be a warm kitchen, somewhere like that. Or if you've got a grow light and stuff like that, it will work really well. Depending on the variety, you're gonna get germination in anything between a week or a month. It will depend on the variety and how good the seed is. But once you've done all of that, just give it a good water. You can't really overwater at this stage. They like to be nice and moist in order to germinate. So we make sure the water really does get into the compost. Just like that. If you've got one, you can cover it with like a greenhouse top, or a plastic bag would work. What we're trying to do there isn't really about heat, it's all about keeping the moisture in. And it's as easy as that. In hopefully a week to a month, you'll start seeing little chilies come through. If you're growing it in a dark spot, that's the point. You're going to need to give it light, so under a windowsill or something like that. If you've got any specific questions about varieties or chilies or any of our videos, then get in contact. See you soon.